Hey, up viewers and viewers, it's time for more SCP with your boys, me and Phil. How's it going, Phil?
Yay! Let's do our anomalous items and then the main entities themselves. We're about to see some more strange things. Strange, freaky, creepy things.
Yes.
Okay, off we go.
And also, I'll just say very quickly, thanks to those of you who've been leaving comments, who've been enjoying this little series of ours. Did have one suggestion that, sometimes if we see cross links to other SCP articles, maybe it's worth us actually just going ahead and reading them, but we'll see. Because obviously Phil's recommended maybe I should do some of these on my own at some point as well, so, I could play around with the format here and
Oh,
there.
we've actually had some comments there,
Yeah,
have we?
yeah. We've had engagement with the videos, Phil. It's been good.
Nice. Nice.
So, first item number 121. Item description: a medium white men's shirt. All attempts to capture the item on video or photograph have failed, as photographs and videos develop as if the shirt were not present. There's no date or location, but it's currently in storage.
Oh, that's a bit of a curious item. So it does exist, but you just can never capture it.
No, you can't record it.
That would be funny because if you think about it, if it was a nice shirt and you wanted to show it off, hey mum, hey dad, look at my new shirt. You just sent us a picture of nothing. No, what? You just sent us a picture of nothing. Yeah.
Indeed.
No. Look, I'll just try and take a picture of it again. Look, here you go. No, there's still nothing there. What? Oh God, there isn't.
It'd be weird. Yes.
You'd think you'd going insane, though, wouldn't you?
You would, yeah.
You'd like thinking the picture's not appearing. Yeah.
Next one is an abstract bronze sculpture measuring 2.11189 metres in height. Artist unknown. Exposure results in drastic overestimation of one's ability to make precise measurements for 9.8000419 hours afterwards. Okay. No date. Location of Recovery, Museum of Modern Art between 5th and 6th Avenue, New York, USA. Current status: in storage.
That's
weird.
Now that's not going to be useful for things when you're trying to because it's essentially nearly 10 hours of unable to make precise measurements.
Yeah.
So if you're in the process of doing some DIY, that's not going to go very well, is it?
Indeed. Just make you wonder how they find these things because they're so specific.
I know, but it must be that it must have been someone at home, just like, or they must have seen it with something like they're measuring out something that's only like, I don't know, 4 centimeters, and they go, Jesus, this is 20 centimeters. This bloody hell.
Yeah.
And they're like, no, it's not. It's just 4 centimeters. No, it's 20 centimeters.
I mean, if it happens once, you just chalk that down to the person in question being an idiot. But then it happens twice in a row, and you start to realise, strange.
But the other thing is, how do the SCP Foundation eventually find out about it? I know they have agents all over the place in the field, and they're obviously listening out, for news articles and special things, and they've got web crawlers searching the internet all the time for weird things happening. So they must maybe someone on the Facebook or something on like Instagram and went, oh, this thing keeps making this person say longer measurements than normal, and then the SCP Foundation like, what? Hang on a minute.
It is one of those things that's so specific, though, and you feel like we could fly under the radar for so damn long before eventually you figure something out.
But the thing is that the people in the SCP Foundation, if you look at some of the things, some of them are extremely clever. Like, because a lot of them are doctors and things like that, high-end researchers, so they can, and some of them can pinpoint things like this really accurately.
Yeah. Next one is a pair of cheese graters, Phil. Any cheese grated with one comes out of the other grater if the two are within 6 metres of each other. No date, but it was recovered from somewhere 21 Road in, I'm going to butcher this pronunciation, Sequim in Washington. Current status under testing.
Again, that's going to cause you to freak out a bit.
Yes.
You've got your 2 cheese graters out, and then you start grating, and you're just like, oh, well, that's weird. Nothing's happening here. And then you look over to the other cheese grater. What?
I think I can imagine this being particularly freaky because, if you're grating cheese, you probably actually wouldn't have both of them out, would you? You'd just take one because you'd only need the one, or so you'd think.
Yeah.
And then you'd be grating the cheese and then realising it's disappearing. Where's it going? And then you'd open the cupboard later where the second one is, and you see just a mountain of grated cheese just there.
Yeah. If it's within 6 meters, obviously you've got them further away, it's okay. But usually, if you've got 2 in a kitchen, they're going to be within 6 meters of each other.
Yeah.
And you're going to have to. Then you're going to be like, because you think your cheese grater's defective or not working, so you just put it away, and you're like, oh shit, I'm going to have to put this back. Open the cupboard. Loads of cheese falls out.
Just a deluge of grated cheese.
Yeah, because what you might do is you might have like loads of different cheeses. It's like, it's not working. What's happening? And you get another cheese. It's still not working. What is going on? Oh well, I'm just going to have to put it away now. And then you open the cupboard.
Yeah, just drowning in cheese.
Exactly.
A standard paper straw wrapper, which is animate and has behaviour patterns consistent with a boa constrictor. It includes slow slithering movement and attempts to constrict prey. Due to the material it's made of, it exerts very little force and cannot restrict anything worthy of notice. Recovered sometime in the 2000s from a Moe's roadside grill in blank. Current status, crumpled up, presumably by accident, believed to be dead. Okay.
Again, that's the thing that would freak you out if you just randomly saw this paper straw that was acting like a boa constrictor, and then it wraps itself around your finger and tries to constrict it. But obviously, because it's paper straw, it's not going to do anything. You're going to wonder. Yeah, you're going to see it crawl around, wrap around your finger. You're like, what the hell's going on here?
Weird.
But yeah, it's not sapient, so that's why it won't be an actual SCP.
Yeah. Next one is a font file named happyfaces.tatf. Any text displayed in it appears as excerpts from Klingon Steed, a 12-novel series of unpublished /romances. Author and font creator are unacquainted and display no anomalies. Downloadable file replaced with corrupt decoy. Date of recovery 6th of March 2009. Location freecrazyfonts.com. Site defunct as of 16th of December 2012. Current status installed on workstation of senior researcher Mary Esposito. Site 12.
Okay.
Weird.
So if you write a bit of text in it, then it's just going to come out from this novel.
Yeah.
I've never heard of this novel. Is this an actual? Let's do a bit of googling. What is Klingon Steed?
Klingon.
What it is.
Klingon Steed. Is that actually real?
Is it?
Hang on.
But it's a thing.
It is a thing.
It's a large contra herbivorous creature from the Klingon homeworld of used in pre-industrial times for riding and hauling, similar to a horse.
So it's a thing in Star Trek, but it's not actually a series of novels. It's just been made up, I guess, for that particular anomalous item. Okay. Yeah, weird. Okay, that's true. Yeah. Next one, an oil painting depicting a sunset over snow-capped mountains. Any human who views the painting is unable to move, excluding blinking and other unconscious movements, until they are deemed to have sufficiently appreciated the painting's composition or are forcibly moved by an external force. Data recovery. See, I can't remember if this is UK or American date format.
It's American, yeah. So it'll be 6th of December.
Okay, yeah. Location of recovery, an art gallery in somewhere in Ukraine, having spontaneously appeared in the gallery the day before. Current status in permanent storage following an incident in which Dr. Gently was transfixed for 3 hours before being removed by security staff. Notes, maybe it'd be easy to appreciate the thing if the artist wasn't terrible at conveying depth. Dr. Gently.
Oh dear. That would be very awkward because you wouldn't realise what happened, and you suddenly just look at the painting and then just be stuck.
Do you know what it reminds me of? It reminds me of the start of Portal 2. You know, when you hear the buzzer, please appreciate the art.
Oh yeah.
Yes.
Maybe there's a little bit of inspiration from that.
Maybe. Who knows?
But yeah, that would be because you'd have to be forced away, or you'd have to until you appreciate it. But how would it determine whether you fully appreciate it? You just go, that's nice. Oh, and then you're suddenly free.
Yeah, who knows? Indeed.
On that one.
Next one is a plush toy of a golden retriever dog looking cheaply made in appearance. Subjects describe the plush toy's body to feel unusually realistic. Touching the plush toy's fur is described to feel like dog's fur. Touching the mouth is described to feel damp and sticky, and so on. Recovered 21st of September 1992 from a dollar store in Louisiana. Current status recreational toy in Site 15 Lounge. That would feel very freaky.
Oh, it would, wouldn't it? Oh God, it'd be like it was like, I think it was wasn't it a anomalous item we saw last time, where it was like a book that whatever page you turned to, you could feel the texture of.
Oh yes, something like that.
Yeah, so something like this, but it's like it's a plush toy, but it actually feels like a real dog.
Yeah.
Oh God.
No thanks. Weird one.
It would be very awkward. Yeah.
Yeah. Next up, a 13-piece set of basic 12-inch rulers that, when damaged, emit a loud screeching sound, then begin to move away from the source of damage. Date of recovery, sometime 2000s in January. Location of recovery, an abandoned Staples warehouse in Coppell, Texas, formerly home to a blank sex cult and blank. Current status under testing. Well, that's a bit disturbing.
A sex cult.
Yeah.
Oh dear. I say,
Ugh.
it's been used to smack each other.
I feel like this is grimly. Well, there's some grim implications of this, because it could be like saying that, when they get damaged, they scream and they try to move away from what's damaging them, and the site was previously home to a sex cult. That feels like it could be like possessed fucking rulers or something that don't like being damaged because they're traumatized from what happened to them. That feels disturbing.
Maybe that's how they become anomalous, because I know that some anomalous entities and some SCPs become anomalous when they never were before, and just like something happens and they suddenly become anomalous like that, the buildings or whatever, and they've never had an anomalous up until that point. So it could be something like that, that these rulers have just been in the sex cult for so long that they've just developed this anomalous thing.
Indeed.
It's strange.
Next one is it says, it might be a coffee cup that could possibly cause all writing about it to be uncertain. Data recovery 1999-ish, somewhere in Florida, in storage. Possibly.
God, I love that one. So everything you say is everything you say is going to be uncertain.
Yes.
Maybe. Well, it's affecting me, Andrew.
It's affecting you.
Yeah, we shouldn't talk about this coffee cup. Is it a coffee
might not
cup,
be a coffee cup though. Who knows?
I don't know. Oh God, Andrew, what's happening? We're getting these cognito hazards.
Let's quickly move on to the next one then.
Yeah, great.
A nickel-plated pocket watch induces a mild trance state in observers when not being swung back and forth like a pendulum. Data recovery June in 2000s. Location recovery of flea market in Cairo. Current status anomalous properties suppressed. Safe to observe. Notes, did somebody actually build a little machine to keep this thing swinging? I mean, nice job I guess, but seriously, we could just keep it in a box, says Dr. Micah.
Well, yeah, of course. Although it seems to have, it's gone now. The properties are all gone. But the funny thing was, it actually induces the trance when it's not being swung, which is obviously counter to what a normal pendulum is. And it's time for a reference, Andrew.
Oh.
You are very much mistaken.
Oh dear.
Oh dear, that was that was bit of Assassin's Creed Syndicate there.
Yeah. That guy. I forget his name, but I can just hear his voice in my mind.
It was like a different sort of anagram of Ezio or something. And Enrio, well, not an anagram because it's not got the same there, but Enrio is very similar, something like that.
God, that bloody side quest.
I mean, that was so weird.
Yeah, it was.
Okay, let's do 10 more, as we normally do. We usually do 20.
Okay. Next one is a copper hoop, 152mm radius, with tubular rim, 6.4mm radius. A groove 1.6mm wide runs along the inner surface. The three 25.4mm bar magnets are attached to its rails within the groove. These magnets are always equidistant, and if given any momentum will rotate around the hoop at a constant velocity without slowing. Any attempt to extract mechanical energy from this system causes it to abruptly stop. All copies have failed to duplicate the perpetual motion of the original device. Located 8th of August 1968. Date of recovery rather. Location of recovery, an inventors convention in Las Vegas. Current status engineering research lab, site 19.
Ooh, a little sort of perpetual motion machine then.
Yeah.
Like what we have here.
Indeed.
These are always curious to look at because I know there's all sorts of different these types of machines that have been created. And they're always it's another sort of machine that's. Have you ever heard of like the useless machine?
Yes,
the one
I
where
think so.
Where you press something and a hand comes out and presses the button which makes it stop.
Yeah.
It's like the useless machine or something. I can't remember what it's called.
I was just thinking of the pointless button from the original Last Stuff movie.
Oh yeah.
Does nothing.
The Astaff movies are just world class.
Indeed.
I baked a pie. Oh boy, what flavour? Pie flavour.
It's your favourite one, that, isn't it, Phil?
Oh well, one of them is hey, it says gullible on the ceiling. Oh right, yeah, it does. Oh, he's Dom Lungs.
That was a good one. Yeah. Next one, a stack of 128, 127, around 124 A4 printing papers printed with a variety of content, exact number of sheets undetermined. Every time the stack is counted, a single 1 to 3, a small number of sheets, exact number undetermined and suspected to be random, will disappear. Data recovery 11th of May 2010 from a building in Shanghai, China. Original stack believed to have consisted of over 400 papers. Current status, in storage.
Weird. So you can never really determine or count how many papers there are because they just keep disappearing, and there was always a random count.
Indeed.
That would be confusing. And if you're actually a person, that would cause you to have a mental breakdown, I think, as well.
As many
Something
of
like
these
that.
would.
Yeah.
Next one is a 10 by 10 centimetre piece of white cardstock bearing two equally sized black dots. The dots remain adjacent to one another along the direction of the Earth's equator, no matter which way the card is turned. Anomaly fails to manifest when paper is not held approximately parallel to the ground. Date of recovery 11th of December, no year. Location of recovery the Something PD Forensics Labs, retrieved from a deceased John Doe. Current status laminated for preservation purposes, kept in storage.
Okay, that's an interesting little one.
Yeah.
So, always going to be along the direction of the Earth's equator. Yeah.
Indeed.
But it's weird that the anomaly just disappears when you don't have it. So if you hold it at a different angle,
Yeah.
it's not parallel, then it's just going to act normal.
Indeed. Wouldn't manifest at all. Let's see. Okay.
Yeah.
Next one, a plastic milk jug which does not experience any gravitational forces. Milk was found to harbour no anomalous properties. Date of recovery 12th of January 2015 from a recycling centre in Argentina. Current status stolen.
Oh,
Weird.
That's interesting. Eventually, just throw it, and it would just stay floating.
Yeah.
Yeah, and milk inside. You could have that. That would be so. They could use that as a party trick actually. When you come over and say, "I'm just going to have some breakfast. I'm just going to have some breakfast. Here we are. Let's pull this on. Whoa, what's your milk jug doing? Oh, you like that, eh?"
I mean, like some stage magician's trick in like some small town somewhere where he's holding the jug and then suddenly he just like lets go of it to scratch his forehead, and everyone's like, "Ooh."
Yeah, you could use it as a magic trick, except it's actual real magic.
Yeah. Next one is a rock possessing telepathic capabilities with a range of a few metres and mostly mulls over how bored it is. Communication appears to be one way only. Date of recovery 1st of September, no year. Location of recovery discovered during investigation of site of an anomalous event by MTF Psi-8, the silencers, determined to be unattached to identifiable larger anomaly. Current status in storage. Notes took several hours to locate which rock was anomalous. My knees hurt. Agent blank.
I suppose if it's in a location with loads of other rocks, you just got to, and it's obviously you're trying to work it out where it is, telepathy, and it's just constantly streaming things. It's just like all of a sudden you're like, all right, let's have a look. Oh God, it's so boring round here. Fucking hell, it's boring. I'm so bored all the time. I'm fucking bored. I was like, where is that? Where's that coming from? Which one? Oh, boring game. Can you not find me? I'm getting so bored just being here. Come on, find me. I'm so bored.
I love how you put that emphasis on the being bored.
Exactly.
Yes.
But then you can't set any, like, because it's only one way only. Well, where are you? I'm just so bored all the time. I'm bored.
Yeah. Next one is a pig whose appearance is static and shifted downwards by 0.25 metres. Effect is purely visual. The image is as it was when the effect started. The effect was reported to have taken hold instantly. No date, but it was recovered from pig farm in blank. Current status kept as a pet on site blank by junior researcher Barham.
Okay, that's a bit. So is it an actual? Yes, so it's an actual real
it's an
pig.
actual pig.
Yeah. That's so it doesn't move and it's just gone. It's gone downwards, but a bit of a weird one, but still, they want to keep it as a pet. Okay, I didn't even know that the SCP Foundation's got their own pig farm. Bloody hell! They've probably got a farm for anything, really.
Well, it says it was recovered from a pig farm, but just kept as a pet on site, whatever.
Oh, yes, it was. Yeah, sorry, I was reading them the wrong way round.
Yeah, indeed.
They probably could have a pig farm. You never know.
Yeah. Item description for the next one: a mummified human foot in a clay jar, thought to date back to the 18th dynasty of Egypt. Anomalous in that genetic testing matches the foot to one Daniel, I'm going to butcher this pronunciation, Ike Ho, a resident of modern-day California, who presently possesses both his feet. Ike Ho is under surveillance. Date of recovery 13th of June 2000-something. Location of recovery found in the remains of a shrine to the Egyptian goddess Mart. Current status in storage. Notes: Ike Ho's left foot was severed in an industrial accident on 21st of February 2000-something. Foot was seized by Foundation personnel and found to share numerous characteristics with the mummified foot, currently held in cold storage. Okay.
So we've got two that match each other, and
Yes.
the person be could they be a descendant
Maybe.
of the person?
Quite possibly.
That's very freaky, though. That one, isn't it?
It is, yes. It's like the foot basically predicts your future that you're going to lose your own foot.
Yeah, exactly. That's what's happened. It's always interesting the way that ancient Egyptians did that. With their mummifying and putting things in their canopic jars and things like that. Always really interesting, that.
Grim but interesting, yeah.
Yeah. Oh yeah, definitely.
Next one is a soft-boiled egg, approximately 0.7 metres in height. Shell is tan in colour and speckled with green. DNA testing inconclusive. Data recovery 11th of December, no year. Location recovery retrieved from an illegally operated restaurant in South America, specialising in exotic foods. Other dishes on the menu include snow leopard, chimpanzee, woolly mammoth, human, and SCP blank. Reports indicate that the 2 such eggs had already been served, and that the last was being reserved for a wealthy Chinese stockbroker. The egg was predicted to sell for a lot of dollars. Current state is undergoing testing, so it's a really big soft-boiled egg.
Yeah, and it seems to be very expensive. It was going to be. It's good job they came. Also, exotic food. God, those would be weird to consume. Snow leopard, chimpanzee, woolly mammoth,
Human.
and some SCP. Oh my God, which SCP though?
It's got
Yeah,
looks like it's probably an SCP with 3 digits, so that could be any number of them, basically.
No. No, because it could be 0 something, couldn't it?
True. Well, yeah, that's still 3 digits, though, isn't it?
That would be good if you revealed it then.
Yeah.
Like just highlighting it. Oh,
Yeah.
that would be so good. But it's been redacted, unfortunately.
Yeah. Next one, a printed image of a Jack Russell Terrier that invariably fools observers into believing they are perceiving a living dog of the same breed. Effect can be avoided by observing the image indirectly, such as through a mirror or camera. Data recovery 4th of September, no year, from a pet show in New Orleans. Current status was held in site blank kennels, now stored in site blank cognito hazard file containment.
Oh, okay. So it's a bit like the basilisk.
Yeah.
You should only, even with a basilisk though, you get what is it? You get petrified. That was it.
Yeah. If you look at it directly, the basilisk in Harry Potter, it kills you. But if you look at it indirectly, it just petrifies you.
Yeah, so it's a bit like this, but obviously not as severe.
Yeah.
Just make it think that you're actually seeing a real dog, a real Jack Russell Terrier.
Yeah.
But it's not. It's just a printed image.
Nah. Indeed. So, final anonymous item for this video, a letter opener resembling a 15cm long miniature claymore. Material is common low-grade stainless steel, the handle is lacquered oak. Material samples taken exhibit no unusual properties. The content of any envelope opened with it is transformed into a poem of appropriate content. Mission reports have been transformed into anything ranging in style from Viking sagas to material akin to poems by the war poets of World War I, while clerical content usually turns into Dadaist or absurdist poetry, especially anything produced by the accounting department of blank. Data recovery sometime in the 2000s, no location. Current status kept in storage at site blank. Access is usually granted upon written request to Dr. Blank and for Class AC personnel.
Okay. Weird.
Yeah.
So you never get to see what the envelope is. It could be that would also be actually that would be really bad if it was a bill that you needed to pay.
Oh God.
You just cut it open and like, oh, important, because it has the important you must read, and then it pulls it up. 'Twas the night before Christmas. Oh, it's like, is this really important?
Well, the thing is, that would be like clerical content, that wouldn't it? So that would turn into some weird poetry by the looks of it that you'd have to then try and decipher.
Yeah. That would be funny, but it would cause a lot of issues.
It would indeed, yeah. Well, that was anonymous item 140, so that's our items then for this video. Shall we now go to the SCPs then, Phil?
Oh, what's our next SCP? Well, hopefully it'll be marked.
Yeah, it is.
So I'll start off. So we're looking at the first one, which is 033, the missing number.
Okay, can you read it fine yet?
Yep, I can read it good. So a Euclid we have here. So containment procedures. SCP-033 should be inscribed on any single sheet of irregularly shaped and handcrafted paper, papyrus, canvas, or vellum when not involved in active observation or study. Dimensions of the paper-like product have no parallel borders, no right angles, and no size length should be equal to any other 033 safe dimensions. When contained in this manner, the paper-like product should be secured in a locked non-combination storage vault at least 30 meters from any computing or recording device. Logs for checkout or check-in of SCP-033 should be filled out at the minimum safe distance of 30 meters to avoid possible contamination of the paper product or electronic device the log is kept in. Okay. When removed for study, SCP-033 can be copied to a white or chalkboard with 033 safe dimensions by Class D staff. Upon transfer to the white or chalkboard, the paper-like product that contained 033 should be incinerated. Observation studies should take place in a secured conference room at least 30 meters from any computing or recording device for the maximum 2,560-second viewing window. All observations or notes should be made on 033 safe materials. Under no circumstance should any notes regarding SCP-033 leave the storage facility or be input into a computing or recording device. At precisely 2,000 seconds of viewing, research must stop and 033 should be transferred to a new 033 safe paper-like product and returned to storage by Class D staff. The white or chalkboard utilised in research must be incinerated as soon as possible after the transfer is complete, regardless of whether 033 has faded naturally from its surface at 2,560 seconds. Whether 033 safe procedures halt or merely slow the deleterious effects of 033 is unknown. It's theorised the irregular borders and handcrafting by mathematically unpredictable humans somehow disrupt the logic which allows 033 to function.
Weird. Okay, very strange. All right.
It's like a mathematical one. So let's see what it actually is. 033 appears as a field of complex mathematical symbols ranging from simple layman identifiable representations to those only interpreted by highly trained mathematicians. The sum of the symbols is equal to a previously unknown integer, designed theta prime by Professor Hutchinson of intermediate value between blank and blank, redacted ones. As all modern mathematical calculations perform lacking the knowledge or use of 033, its introduction into any system organised without it begins eroding the numerical and eventually structural integrity of said system. This effect extends to 033's transfer to any paper-like, defined as paper, vellum, papyrus, or canvas surface, not possessing 033 safe dimensions or any computing or recording devices input into. If inscribed on any of the material, 033 fades into unintelligibility in precisely 2,560 seconds. In addition, 033 has shown ability to leap from a 033 safe material to a manufactured electronic material which can destabilize in at least one incident, which is highlighted in Incident Report 033D, requiring the institution of a 30-meter safe distance for electronic devices and paper-like products without 033 safe dimensions. Okay, so it basically stops like these various numerical things from working when the way it's transferring.
Yeah.
Seems very sort of odd one, doesn't it?
Yeah, and it apparently causes structural degradation in things that it's on as well. Very weird.
If it's not got the 033 safe, which needs to be done. There is currently no 033 safe specification for electronic storage. Blank of the blank operational research projects involving 033 are dedicated to finding such a method for electronic storage. Blank operational research projects are dedicated application of 033 as a neutralizing factor of potentially hostile machine logic-based SCP objects. Clarifying commentary from Professor Hutchinson follows for non-specialized staff in document 033A. Effects may be reviewed in document 033Q. So, document 033A, debriefing Professor Hutchinson after first observation. Transcript edited for clarity. Professor Hutchinson. Right, is it time for...
Is it your time for your voices?
So, Professor Hutchinson.
Every school child knows that 2 plus 2 is 4. The solid mathematical certainty of numerical order and value is the basis for all logic-based systems. We know that after 2 comes 3 and after 3 comes 4. You stupid shit, you should know this from primary school. What this formula proves is that we missed a number somewhere. Imagine if all our technology was based on the belief that after 4 came 6. We simply didn't know or conceive of 5. That is in essence what this formula proves. We missed a number. Do you like he's got a sort of mathematical voice, hasn't he?
He's got that very sort of like mad professor vibe to him.
Yes, doesn't he?
I can't tell you why the handcrafted vellum works best. I can only surmise that it displaces mathematical predictability in 2 ways. I almost said probability, but I am a mad scientist and I should know my words better. 1. The irregularity of the crafting process due to human error serves to eliminate any traces of regularity that will be found in a machine-created product. 2. The irregular borders seem to confuse it somehow, as if it gets locked up looking for a pattern to identify and use its escape hatch. I'll tell you this, though, I don't think it should be left on anything longer than a few days. It will find a pattern eventually. Thank you very much, Professor Hutchinson. Hang on, I have some more to say. I don't think it destroys anything. I think it tries integrating itself into our system, and our system can't hold it. It's like trying to cram another book into a full bookshelf. If you get a hammer, you can get it in there, but the whole shelf bursts eventually. If it gets out into the internet, we'll potentially experience a full IT infrastructure collapse within hours. Ooh.
Okay.
Okay, one. Okay, let's have a document 033Q. Test results from trial 033 Delta 5. SCP-033 inscribed onto a single sheet of standard 8.5 by 11-inch manufactured white copy paper, hereafter X1. A second sheet of identical paper, hereafter X2, placed 30 centimeters away. So, 80 seconds have passed. Symbols consistent with the content of 033 begin appearing on X2, X1 unchanged. 106 seconds, full content of 033's formulae appear on the surface of X2, X1 unchanged. 320 seconds, X1, X2 both appear wet, symbols still visible. 640 seconds, X1 is now roughly 1 part, apparently water, and 5 parts pulp-like substance still filling 8.5 by 11-inch flat plane.
Symbols become unintelligible. X2 still appears wet, symbols visible. After 1,280 seconds, X1 no longer visible at all. Liquid part P2 evaporated, pulp-like substance apparently sublimated. X2 now roughly 1 part liquid and 5 parts pulp-like substance, still filling an 8.5 by 11-inch flat plane. Symbols unintelligible. And after the 2,506 seconds, X2 no longer visible at all. Liquid part appears to have evaporated. Pulp-like substance apparently sublimated.
Weird. Very weird.
Weird thing, yes. It seems to have been transferred from one to the other.
Yeah. So it's like a weird sentient mathematical thing that's trying to spread itself, but obviously nothing can really hold it, so peculiar.
That is, yeah, very little strange one, isn't it?
Yeah.
Indeed.
So I guess I understand why it's Euclid, because it's easy enough to contain, but if it was to get out, it wouldn't necessarily directly harm humans, but it would cause potentially societal systems to fail, which would lead to harm. Yeah,
especially because there are many things that rely on mathematical equations and things. So
Indeed.
It starts,
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Well, 034 is the next one, the Obsidian Ritual Knife. Ladies and gents, me to read. I've already got a picture for this one. This is safe. Special containment procedures. 034 is to be kept in a secure room with access granted only to level 4 personnel. 034 itself will be kept in a lock case that is under 24-hour surveillance. When not in lab conditions, 034's protective sheath cannot be removed under any circumstances. Any personnel in contact with 034 must be placed under a 24-hour observation period until their identities can be confirmed. Well, that's a short containment procedure.
It seems to be safe. It doesn't seem to be too bad, so let's see what it is.
Yeah. 034 is a primitive knife constructed out of pure obsidian. Tests revealed that 034 is approximately 1,000 years old. Despite its crude method of construction and age, 034 is still incredibly sharp and requires no maintenance to retain its edge. Expert analysis hypothesizes that 034 may be of South American origin, and it may have been used in Native American rituals. Several accounts from Spanish conquistadors exploring the Blank region support this hypothesis, with detailed writings on how Blank priests would flay their victims alive with similar knives and wear their skin as a tribute to their gods. 034 has the ability to allow its bearer to take on the appearance of another individual. If 034 is used to cut a piece of flesh from a living individual, and that piece of flesh is placed against the skin of another, the second individual will take on not only the appearance but all physical characteristics of the first individual. Testing has shown that the minimum amount of skin required can be as little as 1 square centimetre. However, testing has also revealed that the amount of time the transformation lasts is directly proportional to the amount of flesh used. The ratio of time the transformation lasts to flesh used has been measured at approximately 1 hour for every square centimetre used. Once the time limit has passed, the affected individual will revert to their original form.
Oh.
Okay, so you can disguise yourself as another person, basically.
Yeah, you can disguise yourself as another person, and it's quite even 1 square centimetre gives you an hour, which you can do anything.
Indeed.
But it's just getting their skin from using the knife. That would be just magic. I can turn to you, Andrew.
This sounds like a really grim version of Harry Potter's Polyjuice potion. Except instead of just plucking someone's hair, you have to cut a piece of skin off them.
Yeah, I mean, how are you going to do that?
Yeah.
That would be very difficult to do surreptitiously.
Indeed. Well, it's like these ancient priests probably did. They probably just had a victim who they caught and then they did that to them. Analysis of 034's ability shows that its method of mimicking another individual is nearly flawless. Not only does 034 change its bearer's physical appearance, but their actual physical attributes as well, including height, weight, muscle mass, bone density, hair growth, eyesight strength, physical medical conditions, and even DNA. The only physical traits that are not carried over in the transformation process are wounds caused by 034 itself. Subjects,
oh my God. You really do transform entirely.
Yeah.
Crazy.
Subjects still retain their original personality and memories while transformed. Even though the process is nearly instantaneous, taking only a few seconds, human test subjects have described the transformation process as extremely painful. Subjects also may suffer psychological trauma depending on the extent of their physical transformation. Side effects are especially serious if the subject takes on the appearance of a person with differing gender or with wildly different physical attributes. However,
because you think about it, if you're going into a woman, suddenly you're going to get boobs that just...
Yes. I like how that's the first thing you're thinking of. See, I was thinking, say like a really tall person trying to transform into someone really small, something
Yeah.
like
Oh
that, and it
God,
like
that would.
shrinks them down.
Oh God, I can see why it would be painful.
Yeah. However, in order to function properly, the individuals who have their flesh cut off by 034 must still be biologically alive to maintain the transformation. Should the individual whose identity has been stolen expire, the effect immediately wears off. Further details may be found in Lab Report 034A. Also, 034 only appears to work on human subjects. Cross-species experiments with 034 have resulted in data expunged. 034 came into Foundation possession when an imposter disguised as Dr. Blank attempted to infiltrate Site Blank. The imposter was apprehended when authorities discovered the real Dr. Blank tied up in his home with a large portion of his right arm skinned. Ouch. Further details may be found in Post-Interrogation Report 2211.
How much time would that give you? A large portion, right? That could be something like 8 hours or something.
That could be a lot. Like a
Yeah.
large portion of his right arm. Yeah, that'd be a lot then, probably. Lab Report 034A. We've decided to test several scenarios dealing with the limits of 034's capabilities. Test 1. Sample taken from deceased human cadaver and applied to subject D452. There is no observable effect. Test 2. Sample taken from D532 and applied to D452. D452 successfully mimics D532's appearance upon termination of D532. D452 immediately reverts back to original form. Test 3. Sample taken from D433 while under a medically induced coma and applied to subject D452. D452 successfully mimics D433's appearance and manages to maintain the transformation and consciousness.
Okay.
Test 4. Sample taken from a brain-dead medical patient who suffered a massive brain hemorrhage and applied to D452. 452 successfully mimics the patient's appearance but immediately loses consciousness upon transformation. D452 does not regain consciousness until the transformation period expires. 452 retains no memory of the event. Interesting. So, even if someone is technically brain dead, as long as they're being held on life support, it still works.
It still works, but you mimic them, so you will lose consciousness as well.
Yeah.
That would be weird. I suppose if you had two people of the same sort of like build and height and everything, I don't think it'd be that painful.
Probably still a
Because
bit
you could-
painful, but not as.
Yeah.
Yeah.
In fact, yeah.
Test 5. Sample taken from D625 who suffered a broken arm due to a confrontation with security staff. D452 successfully mimics 625's appearance, including the broken arm. D452's broken arm is remended when the transformation period expires.
Oh my God, you can basically do anything as long as it's not a wound inflicted by the knife. You could take another thing, so
Yeah.
you could transform into someone and not realize that they might have, a broken leg, and you suddenly transform.
Yep, you have
Oh
that
my
broken
God.
leg.
Yeah.
Test 6. Sample taken from a terminally ill medical patient applied to 452. The patient's terminal illness was caused by an inherent genetic defect. D452 successfully mimics the patient's appearance as well as the patient's illness. Both the terminally ill patient and 452 expire at the same time, after which D452 reverts back to original form.
Okay,
dear.
so sounds like he came. What? So did he actually die though, or did he just go back to his original form where he became alive again?
I think it's saying he died, but of course, because the terminally ill patient died, technically he then reverted to original form, but he's still dead, I'm guessing, is what it means. Yeah.
Odd, okay.
Yeah. Test 7. Sample taken from a chimpanzee and applied to D466. D466 experiences rapid growth of hair across their entire body. There are otherwise no other significant physical or physiological changes. Body hair disappears when the transformation period expires.
Okay, so animals don't really work. Just seems to give him extra hair.
Yeah. Test 8.
Doesn't turn him into a chimpanzee. Yeah.
Sample taken from an Atlantic salmon and applied to D466. There is no observable effect. Test 9. Under O5 authorization, a sample taken from SCP blank is applied to D466. 466 exhibits extremely adverse reaction upon transformation and data expunged, resulting in significant damage to testing environment, multiple injuries among test and security staff, and the death of D466. Testing of anomalous humanoids with SCP-034 is suspended indefinitely.
Yeah, I don't think you should be doing that.
Yeah, it looks like this was a 4-digit SCP by the looks of it, this
Oh,
one.
okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Indeed. Right, the interrogation report of the imposter. Post-interrogation report 2211. As per standard operating procedure, we first attempted to interrogate the prisoner via non-violent and non-invasive means. However, when such methods proved ineffective, we began to implement conventional interrogation techniques. While partially successful, we deemed it necessary to use SCP blank, SCP blank, SCP blank, and SCP blank. We managed
Of course, I know all of them.
We managed to learn the following facts. The prisoner had extensive knowledge on the existence of the Foundation and its inner workings. The prisoner had extensive knowledge on other SCP-related agencies and groups. The prisoner was not acting under any official capacity from any government agency. The prisoner obtained SCP-034 and instructions on its operation from an unknown benefactor. The prisoner was given very specific instructions to infiltrate Site Blank and maintain his position until further notice. The prisoner had enough samples of Dr. Blank to stay within Site Blank for blank days. Regrettably, the prisoner did not survive interrogation. Agent Blank.
Okay.
Interesting
one, isn't it? Yeah. So you take on the form of someone if you have a bit of their skin.
Yeah. So it's the ultimate tool if you're a spy or a secret agent, if you're willing to put up with the pain it can cause.
Yeah, which is extremely painful. And I suppose when you transform back, is it just as painful?
That's actually a good question. I don't think it really specified, did it?
Specify, no. So maybe it probably will be, actually.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. 035, which is the possessive mask.
Ooh.
I know. Object class Keter. So, SCP-035 is to be kept within a hermetically sealed glass case, no fewer than 10 centimeters, that's 4 inches thick. This case is to be contained with a steel, iron, and lead shielded room at all times. Doors are to be triple locked at all times with the exception of allowing personnel in or out. No fewer than 2 armed guards to be posted at any time. Guards remain outside at all times and not allowed within the containment room under any circumstances. A trained psychologist is to remain on site at all times. Research personnel are not to touch 035 at any time. 035 must be moved to a new sealed case every 2 weeks. The previous case must be disposed of by SCP-101 as it shows no adverse reactions to 035's corruption. Anyone who comes into contact with 035 when it's in possession of a host is to be given an immediate psychological evaluation. Well, this sounds really horrific. The fact that it's got to be a three-line cell. So, 035 appears to be a white porcelain comedy mask, although at times it will change to tragedy. In these events, all existing visual records, such as photographs, video footage, even illustrations of 035, automatically change to reflect its new appearance. Interesting. A highly corrosive and degenerative viscous liquid constantly seeps from the eye and mouth holes of 035. Anything coming into contact with this substance slowly decays over a period of time, depending on the material, until it's decayed completely into a pool of the original containment. Glass seems to react the slowest to the effects of the item, hence the construction choice of its immediate container. Living organisms that come into contact with the substance react much the same way, with no chance of recovery. Origin of the liquid is unknown. The liquid is only visible from the front and does not emerge or is even visible from the other side. Oh dear. It's not sounding great already, is it?
No.
Subjects within 1.5 to 2 meters, that's 5 to 6 feet of 035, or in visual contact with it, experience a strong urge to put it on. When 035 is placed on the face of an individual, an alternate brainwave pattern from 035 overlaps that of the original host, effectively snuffing out and causing brain death to the subject. Subject then claims to be the consciousness contained within 035. The bodies of possessed subjects decay at a highly accelerated rate, eventually becoming little more than mummified corpses. Nevertheless, 035 has demonstrated the ability to remain in cognitive control of a body experiencing severe structural damage, even if the subject's body literally decays to the point where motion is not mechanically possible. No effect is found to be had when placed on the face of an animal. So it basically sort of causes you to be completely brain dead and then sort of like reanimates you.
Yeah.
Wow. Conversations with 035 have proven to be informative. Researchers have learned various details about other SCP objects and history in general, as 035 claims to have been at many momentous events. 035 displays a highly intelligent, charismatic personality, being both amiable and flattering to all those who speak with it. 035 has scored in the 99th percentile of all intelligent aptitude tests administered to it and appears to have a photographic memory. However, psychological analysis discovered 035 to possess a highly manipulative nature, capable of forcing sudden and profound changes to interview psychological state. 035 has proved to be highly sadistic, prompting some to commit suicide and transforming others into near mindless servants with linguistic persuasion alone. 035 has stated its intimate knowledge of the workings of the human mind and implied that it can change anyone's views if given enough time. It's a very manipulative little thing. Oh,
yes.
Dear. Additional. 035 was found in a sealed crypt in an abandoned house in Venice sometime in the 1800s. Addendum 03501. 035 has been found to be able to possess anything that has a humanoid shape, including mannequins, corpses, and statues. 035 has been able to motivate all into movement, removing the need to expose live subjects to 035. Still, anything it possesses inevitably decays into motionlessness. Okay, so good. So it can take over mannequins, making them even more freaky.
Yep.
Addendum 03502. 035 has facilitated escape attempt, convincing several of the research staff to aid in its bid for freedom. Insurrection failed. All staff in contact with 035 have been terminated, and mandatory psychiatric evaluation was implemented for all personnel coming in contact with 035. Wow, it's really doing a number, isn't it?
Yes.
Yeah, I can see why it's Keita. God, the SCP Foundation are really suffering with this one. Addendum 03503. It's been determined that 035 is capable of telepathy, whether or not it possesses a host, even penetrating the subconscious of others, and using the knowledge it finds to its advantage. Extreme caution is advised when choosing subjects to converse with 035. Blimey. 03504. It's expressed an interest in other SCPs, most notably SCP-4715 and SCP-682. Dr. Blank has expressed worry that should 035 bond with either, their regenerative qualities would negate its corruption and give it a permanent host.
Yeah, I was
Oh my
about to
God!
say 682 is the real bad one, isn't it? That's like the
Yeah,
reptile that regenerates.
the hard to kill reptile.
Yeah.
Do not give it for that. Oh my God. Okay. Addendum 03505. After several more escape attempts and after reviewing 035's incident record, High Command has ordered be permanently sealed within the facility and prohibited from being allowed any more hosts. Several personnel have protested against this, with some even erupted into violence. As a result, all personnel that come into contact with 035 have been terminated. Going forward, all personnel that deal with 035 are to be rotated frequently, and contact is to be limited even to its dormant state to as little as possible. Wow. 03506. Personnel within 10 metres of 035 have recently reported feeling unease, stating they can hear unintelligible whispering. Several others have suffered from severe migraines. Object has been monitored, but there is no change in dormant behaviour and no sound has been recorded. The motion to reinstate 035's host privileges has been brought up once more, if only on a temporary basis to discover this new change in the object's behaviour. Denied. Yeah, I don't think you want to keep it going. Addendum 03507. The walls of 035's containment cell have suddenly begun secreting a black substance. Tests on the substance have revealed it to be human blood, although highly contaminated with several foreign unknown agents. The substance is corrosive, having a pH of 4.5, and prolonged exposure to the walls have proven to be detrimental to the structural integrity. More notably, it appears to be forming patterns on the walls. Several segments seem to be paragraphs in various languages, including Italian, Latin, Greek, and Sanskrit. Translation is pending. Other segments appear to be diagrams depicting ritualistic sacrifice and mutilation, often to feel the arcane benefit to the person committing them. Several staff members have been shocked to know that all of the sacrifices bear an uncanny resemblance to various personnel and their loved ones, often in conflicting positions. Researchers, while in the room examining these newly formed patterns, have complained of hearing loud whispering and high-pitched, unnerving laughter at regular intervals. Personnel in the section working daily near and around O3's containment unit have suffered catastrophic morale damage, with an all-time high in suicide rates in staff in the area, whether or not they ever had contact with O35. The only change in the dormant behaviour is regarding its contained glass case. Degradation of the case has increased to a high degree, enough so that glass will occasionally shatter, causing a wide range of O35's containment. This occurs quite often in the most inopportune times, so far resulting in 6 casualties and 3 fatalities of both research and cleanup staff. Jesus!
So it's getting worse.
It's deadly. It seems like it's even more than Keita, even though there's no class. Addendum 03508. In light of the mass suicide homicide of the members of the research team tasked with translating the passages garnered from 035's containment cell, the morale damage in the area and general loss of staff dealing with 035 to either death or insanity, it has been decided to coat the inner and outer walls of the containment cell with 148, which has proved well in containment of SCP-132, see document 13201, in order to hopefully block out the high levels of negativity being emitted by 035. Hang on, negativity? I thought it was being like, flattering and everything.
Well, it was before, but now it's being negative because it's like driving people to suicide, isn't it?
Yeah. I suppose, yeah, that's true, actually.
Yeah.
Okay, Addendum 03509. The use of SCP-148 has worked well, causing morale and suicide rates to return to near pre-035 rates. However, the material appears to facilitate negativity within the wall, causing a veritable greenhouse effect inside. Personnel inside the cell have stated they feel a heavy sense of dread, fear, anger, and general depression, as well as hearing constant, nearly inaudible whispering upon immediate entry. A prolonged stay causes severe migraines, suicidal tendencies, heavy hemorrhaging of blood vessels around the eyes and inside the mouth and nose, general hostility to others, and for the whispering to increase to almost deafening volumes, intersected by constant mocking laughter. Exposure of more than 3 hours inevitably results in the subject falling into deep psychosis, attempting to harm either themselves or others. Most spoke in Latin or Greek, despite the fact that several did not previously know how to speak said languages beforehand. The presence of blood in both word and diagram formations has increased disproportionately, the walls being cluttered and the formation beginning to overlap each other. The substance has proven to be both difficult to clean and even more corrosive than originally recorded, with a pH of roughly 2.4. General estimation gives the current walls a life of 2 months before they'll need replacement. It is becoming gradually more and more difficult to contain 035, and the debate to reinstate its host privileges has once again come up. Denied.
God, it's causing even the SCP Foundation a lot of issues.
Yeah.
This one. Addendum 03510. The walls, ceiling and floor of O3 containment cell have been completely saturated in blood. All personnel entering and guarding the area must wear full hazmat protection suits. Constant cleaning efforts are being instated. Okay, and Addendum 03511. The magnitude, intensity, and reoccurrence of the phenomena that occur with O35's containment cell have increased to an alarming degree. The cell door has been known to become locked of its own accord while personnel inside and unable to be opened for a period of time. Appendages form out of the larger puddles of blood and often attempt to grab or harm personnel near them. Blurry apparitions have started appearing to staff. Electronic devices no longer work inside the cell, and the light cannot be turned on. Although there's no physical reason why it does not work, forcing those entering to use non-electric based light sources. So I assume like candles,
Yeah.
I suppose. Cleaning measures having no discernible effect on the cell, and the walls are degrading at a very high rate, forcing them to be replaced within a week at best, although the blood makes it nearly impossible to properly achieve this. O35 may have to be moved to a new cell entirely, with the old one sealed off and disengaged from the rest of the facility.
Wow. That's a bad one.
That seems higher than key to that. They can't. Even the Foundation are suffering with what to do with it.
Yeah. So basically, it's escalating, and at some point, it's probably going to cause a massive containment breach, by the sound of it.
Yeah. Unless they can move it somewhere else, or they have to just shut it off. Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, shall we leave it there, or
shall I do one more? If you have time, Phil.
Yeah, that's what we give one more. Yeah,
because that way I've done two and you've done two. SCP-036, the reincarnation pilgrimage of the Yazidi, Kiras Guhorin. I probably butchered that pronunciation entirely. Interesting, it's an aeroplane. Object class safe. Special containment procedures. Once every year, a mobile task force is dispatched from Containment Commando 2 in Expunged to Site 22A to defend the runway and airport located there. The civilian facility is to be cleared of all non-SCP personnel by 0400 hours of September 23rd, and none are allowed to return until sunrise the next day. On October 1st, all civilians must be evacuated again before sunrise and will not be allowed onto Site 22A until the return of the pilgrimage flight. Pilgrims in transit from the arrival flight awaiting departure on the pilgrim flight may only be cross-examined by researchers with level 3 security clearance or higher. Okay. Weird.
Bit of a weird one.
Yeah.
Okay.
036 includes the location, Site 22A, a small airport in the Mosul region of northern Iraq, and Site 22B, the destination of passengers boarding at Site 22A. The key components of SCP-036 are the arrival flight, a passenger plane that varies in make and model from year to year, that arrives shortly before dawn on September 23rd. It appears on radar about 30 to 40 kilometres away from Site 22A. When it lands, pilgrims exit the plane and enter the terminal. No crew have ever left the plane. Observations have only revealed a masked pilot and co-pilot. This plane leaves quickly after pilgrims exit and does not wait for clearance for takeoff, nor does it identify itself upon approach for landing.
That would surely be scary, would it? To like control towers and things like that.
Yeah.
This run plane just coming in.
Indeed. The pilgrims, people of the Yazidi faith, exit the arrival plane who are said to be undergoing the Kiras Guhorin. Each year they are examined and identified as various people of the Yazidi faith that have died during the previous year. This is done through birth certificates, photo IDs, specific knowledge questions and when possible fingerprinting. Most have been known to be friendly and amicable, though most are reluctant to give details about the thing that I'm probably butchering the pronunciation of.
Now, yeah.
In the past, all have shown to be unable to recognise family and friends or been able to remember any information beyond what short-term memory would normally allow. In the late afternoon of September 23rd, most pilgrims begin to emphasise how important it is that their pilgrimage must begin. At that time, they file onto the pilgrimage flight, plane and depart, never to be seen again. The pilgrimage flight, a passenger plane provided by SCP personnel for the transport of the pilgrims. It is manned by a crew of trained Yazidi holy men. The crew are typically never able to elaborate upon details of the pilgrimage or what the thing actually is. Sorry to anyone who is Yazidi and who I'm butchering the pronunciation of that. I apologise there.
Difficult word.
Yeah. SCP equipment on board function optimally, but recorded data will only slightly increase our understanding of the pilgrimage each year. Though the flight is gone for 7 days, the crew and recorded data are only able to account for a few hours. Days are missing from time recording equipment and cameras, though nothing abnormal is ever observed. The plane disappears from radar and visual contact. That's a bit weird grammar. The plane disappears from radar and visual... Oh, visual contact is lost, sorry.
There
we go. About 50 to 60 kilometres away from Site 22A, until it returns about sunrise on October 1st. Site 22B, the destination of the pilgrimage plane. It is a small airport consisting of a runway and single building located at coordinates expunged. It has only been observed by pilgrimage crew and cameras on the plane. It does not appear on satellite images, and attempts to reach it on foot have failed, once with disastrous results. Cameras have trouble focusing on the area, as the heat from the ground usually causes a mirage-like visual effect on all objects more than a few dozen metres from the plane. A flyover with an SCP reconnaissance plane several weeks before the pilgrimage revealed undeveloped land and what looked like an ancient stone statue. In the 1990s, SCP Mobile Task Force Sigma-4 attempted to reach Site 22B during the time of the pilgrimage. Upon the approach, communication was lost and the task force was never heard from again. No other exploration attempts are advised during the 7-day pilgrimage. Originally, the Kurdish-speaking Yazidi people around Mosul secretly performed the pilgrimage themselves. Pilgrims from the east were escorted by masked armed guards on camelback into the care of Yazidi holy men. It has been explained that the holy men would then take the pilgrims west to their land of the dead, where the pilgrims would wait to be reborn back into the Yazidi people. The thing, literally Kurdish for changing garments, is used to describe the belief of reincarnation that lesser souls of the Yazidi undergo. While this actual pilgrimage was done in secret, a symbolic pilgrimage and thing are performed every year at this time by other Yazidi. During the 1960s, land acquisition by Kurds and Muslims, attacks by Turks, and punitive laws by the Islamic Iraqi government restricted the movements and customs of the Yazidi. During that time, the Foundation stepped in and offered aid in the way of an advantageous clause that granted SCP planes unrestricted access to airport facilities in the area. Almost immediately, mysterious planes carrying pilgrims from the east began landing at the local airport, and an elusive airport at the destination appeared as well.
Very, very mysterious, that one.
Okay, so this is interesting because this is like an SCP which, prior to the invention of planes, by the sound of it, was always kind of going on in the background. But then when the Foundation stepped in, it like changed the SCP, so that it was then aeroplanes. Really weird.
And you send an airplane, and they just disappear and don't find out where they're going.
Yeah,
that's a very strange one.
Yeah. So comments I've had.
It's not a nasty one though. No. I was just saying it's not a nasty one. It's quite a sort of nice one in a way.
Yeah. It's harmless, or seemingly harmless anyway. Now, I was about to say, comments that people have left on previous SCP videos. Someone did say that a lot of these like earlier SCPs are actually different to what they once were, because at various points they've been through sort of like complete rewrites and things like that. And so I'm wondering if this one has, because I'm wondering if maybe there was something here in terms of, obviously you remember when the Yazidis were being targeted in recent years by like IS and Daesh, groups like that. I wonder if there's maybe some inspiration there, something like some dark, I don't know,
You can rewrite them at any point, What is the process that makes them, who decides that, when the person who's written them is good enough for it to actually be turned into an SCP?
Yeah, I mean, as far as I'm aware, it's like a community thing. People write an idea and then share it, and people help them refine it, and then eventually, I guess, it just gets submitted, and somebody decides, that's good enough to be an SCP.
The O5 Council, of course.
Yeah. Indeed.
Maybe because they will. I think things will have been edited. And things like that.
I know.
These have been long ago.
There are definitely ones that I've heard of which have been completely rewritten over time, because maybe the original version over time people have just come to think it's not that good, so they've just decided to completely change it.
Yeah.
Indeed.
Well, we've had some interesting ones then there. I think the SCP that was more about the strange mathematical one. I bet that person who wrote it was interested in maths.
Yeah, the obsidian ritual knife was a scary one, and so was the mask as well.
Oh, I think because we always do at the end. We always round it up with what we thought was the most freaky. It's got to be that bloody mask.
Yeah, the mask is the most terrifying one, clearly.
Yeah. Well, it's causing the Foundation struggling.
Yeah.
To contain it. Yeah.
Indeed. Okay, well there you go. It was another SCP with myself and Phil. So thanks for joining me, Phil.
We've had another good chunk there, Doug.
Yeah.
It's always fun to read about them and see what they are and see what they're doing and how freaky they are, or just how strange they are. Like, I mean, this one 036 is not freaky at all. It's just a bit mysterious and strange.
Yeah. Indeed. Well, yeah. I mean, sometime, as I said before, I'll have to start recording some of these myself as well, and
Yeah, you can make your way through them.
yeah, and I could very well play with the format of it a bit, so concentrate on the SCPs themselves, maybe like take some of the cross-link to other articles, things like that.
The problem, I don't think you should do. I mean, especially okay, but with the cross-link, I think it's better just go through
Maybe.
one by one.
Yeah. I mean, obviously it'll show up on here, like the text will show up in a slightly different colour once you've clicked onto it, so we'll know which ones I've actually done. But yeah, I mean, I'm not decided on it. I'll figure it out as I go along.
Really are, and we're getting ever closer to the first famous one, of course. 049.
Yeah, we're getting there. It's coming up, ladies and gents.
Yeah, the first famous one. I don't know how, there's quite a few like absolute famous ones.
Yeah.
But, there's because I know there's obviously 049. There's the
173, 106.
106. There's also
096. 087. Yeah. A lot of the ones basically that have been featured in SCP games.
28. There's a 2-1 and there's a 914 is a popular one.
Yeah. 682.
That's the famous. Yeah, 682. 914 is the famous Clockworks.
Yes.
And then there's the 2 something, the pan-dimensional vending machine.
Oh, I know the one you mean. I don't remember the number of it though. Yeah.
2 something or other.
Yeah.
So
all right.
But yes, we're reaching our first. I think when we, if we can remember which are the famous ones, I think we should have a yay! We reached the famous one, the first famous one. Every time we reach a famous one, we can have a little yay, famous one. Maybe just like having in your magics, just have like banners and yay, famous one. We reached.
I'll try and remember to do something like that. Some like confetti that flies across the screen or something.
every time we reach a famous one, yeah.
Yeah. Right. Looking at time, I think we need to wrap up, Phil, because I'm getting hungry.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Social media links, propaganda channel link as always, are down in the video description for anyone interested. And if you enjoyed, I like it, of course, always appreciate it. But than that, it's Phil signing off.
See you later, guys.
And it's me signing off. Goodbye, everybody. Check this place out. You see, this is the thing that I do like about the game. As janky as it is, I do like some of the scenery sometimes. Right, where's Comrade Stalin? Do I have a lot? Am I still playing as Thinking? I'm still playing as the girl, aren't I? No, I'm not playing as Suvorov with all his weapons. Need to report to the staff as soon as possible. The simplest way is to get to the secret subway station, of course. There's always a bloody secret subway. Well, they're all over there. Where is the secret subway station, though? That's the question. Can I go in anywhere? Oh, God. Always do the deal with a low aspect ratio on that texture over there. Look at these low aspect ratio walls. Makes me kind of wonder if maybe